Hello, darlings, and welcome to Digimon Ghost Gaze. This is a podcast where I think it's safe to say all three of us hosts could have crushed that apple with our bare hands. No problem whatsoever. I'm Emery. My pronouns are they, she, he.
I'm Morg. My pronouns are they, he. And not only could I have crushed the apple, but I could have absolutely done the thing where I can do a Hartner beam and repay her that way.
Morg, an empath.
Morgan empath, yes.
And I'm Elvire. My pronouns are they, she, he. And I don't know what to add to that one anymore, because what else did Digimon do? You know what? I would have dressed up as a furry.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, May Crackmon would have said, well, you have to have ears like mine, and I say, sure, and put on the cat ear headband that I definitely own.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, I can do that. It might take a little bit, because I have to save up some money for a fursuit, but, we can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't quit immediately. I would actually put in the effort.
Yeah, our thesis for this episode is that Riku would have done much better if he were an adult non-binary furry, like all of us.
Right.
Oh, Puchimon, please raise your standards.
Right, teenage boys out, non-binary furries in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that we're all just well, we could have, but what if we were in this situation instead?
I would think, hell yeah, friend.
I would have simply been friends with the terrifying cat girl and not messed it up even slightly.
I probably would have said something stupid because I have I have an issue where I say too much, but I would have made it up, and that's what really matters.
I think what would have ruined it for us is I can barely share my twin-sized bed with my cat, who is very small, technically speaking, compared to me. I think if May Crackmon was in my bed, I'd have an issue with it, because I want the most space.
I'm good. I have a queen-sized bed. She just has to deal with all the clothes on my bed, because I'm a fucking mess. I'm the picture that's bitch, you live like this? That's me.
Yeah, I might have to move some of my stuffed animals, but I think I could manage it.
Maybe she'd help me clean up, and then I'd have to help her, and that would suck, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I mean, she didn't have a lot of stuff, so...
Anyway, what the fuck happens in this episode?
Well, this is episode 50, Payback, and someone doesn't pay it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's all about equivalent exchange in this episode, and someone's not.
Oh, this episode could have ended so much worse. I realize that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it starts with...
No one gets put into a suit of armor until next episode, fortunately.
Oh my... Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You are correct. We start with Riku, last name I've forgotten, who has some friends over, because apparently he's not from Tokyo.
Yeah. He showed up. He was the one that, got all the, presents and shit from
Yeah, we already know this friendless,
We know this nerd because he's so bad at making friends.
Yeah.
He sucks at making friends.
Apparently not. He has friends. He just doesn't have friends at his school. And that's sad.
Who make fun of him? His friends that he met up with made fun of him and were like, "Wow, you can't make friends, you fucking loser."
They're probably the kind of friends that oh, it's your neighbors and your parents just forced you to hang out.
Yeah. I was like, damn, owned.
Yeah, so Riku, he recently moved in, like he was visiting his old friends, but then they have to go back home, and he's just all sad and lonely sitting on a park bench talking about how not sad and lonely he is. And then there's just a little guy lurking in the bushes being like, "Oh, a fellow no friend haver?"
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. So when Riku wakes up the next morning, he meets this little guy, and it's Puchimon, who is this just like little cute puppy dog looking guy with big antennae on their head that sort of end in little heart shapes.
He is friend-shaped.
He looks like a Sonic the Hedgehog character, honestly.
Yeah, he does.
I've seen him before because I had done like this thing where I was looking up a bunch of like armor level Digimon. Like technically Puchimon is.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think he's like an evolution of Wormmon, which is
correct.
Wild. Yeah.
Digimon is wild sometimes.
You can just turn into a pink dog, bug, butterfly, fairy, and then become a cat girl.
Digimon is just the ultimate OC do not steal.
Digimon sure is gender, isn't it?
It is amazing because we're talking about Puchimon with the he, him, and then later in the episode it's gonna be she, her, isn't it?
It sure is. We're really playing Calvin Ball with the pronouns today, and I for one am here for it.
I love that.
I actually didn't realize what Puchimon's pronouns were.
That's the problem with Japanese sometimes. Neither do they.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They don't really use pronouns all that much, right?
Not in the way that
not
we
gendered,
do in English.
yeah.
Like, I think technically there are ways of referring people that indicate masculinity or femininity.
Yeah, there's certain words that are, like, used more by women and words that are used more by men, but technically speaking, that's why in Digimon Survive the pronouns sometimes change.
Yeah.
I guess it depends more on, like, how you refer to yourself, like with, like, Boku or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there is some third-person stuff that works that way, but I'm not a Japanese expert, and yeah, I think it is just like more common to just refer to someone, or it's not as common just to like use third-person pronouns as a whole, I don't think. Again, I'm not an expert.
No, I think that's actually sort of impolite in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just refer to people by their names.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Then again, I haven't done Japanese in like months, so...
Fair enough.
We are thinking about a cute Puchimon who is sitting on Riku's... oh my god, no, my battery. Wait, I have to run.
Oh.
No, don't die on me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I saved it. I am so fast. I vaulted over my table. Okay. Sorry, you'll have to edit this one out.
Elvia in the fucking Millennial Olympics over here, vaulting over a table to go charge their phone.
Yo.
It was my phone. It was my laptop. I actually needed to do this podcast.
Oh, it was the oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I did play Genshin on it earlier. That's why the battery is on. Anyway, Puchimon is sitting on Riku's chest and saying, "Let's play." And Riku's like, "What the fuck? What's going on?"
Oh, Fukatsu is his last name. I'm looking up Puchimon, and they have an entry in the villains wiki, which is fun.
Oh boy.
No, not a villain. He's not.
I wouldn't say they're a villain, but they do say it's a rookie Digimon that serves as a minor antagonist in the anime Digimon Ghost game. And I'm like, I don't know if I would call him an antagonist, but okay.
he is an antagonist, but he's not a villain.
Yes.
Antagonist is not, it's not
You're right.
the same thing as a villain. And I think he's just a teenage girl with his first crush.
Yeah, you know what?
So valid.
So, yeah, anyway, like, Riku is like, hey, you must be like a hologram, like one of Heroes. Like, does that mean you, like, ran away from somewhere? Did you have, like, a previous owner? I don't know. And then Puchimon just gives him a hug and is like, okay, now give it back. So Riku is like, okay, what does that mean? And hugs him back.
Yeah, and he's so excited.
Yeah, and also in this scene, like, Puchimon is, like, mimicking some of Riku's movements, like, you know, scratching his head and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's kind of cute, in the beginning.
Yeah, so Puchimon does have, like, a very sort of, like, childlike personality, and does just kind of have this, like, mimicry thing where he'll like sort of copy your movements and then sort of like expect you to copy him back.
Yeah. It's kind of cute. Riku has teenage anime boy disease, so he's late for school. The only thing he doesn't do is put a piece of bread in his mouth, but everything else is just pure teenage anime boy.
That's damn. Do you think he ran out of toast that day?
Yeah, probably. I'm just thinking if he had put a piece of toast in his mouth, he could have probably seen Puchimon do the same thing, and that would have been adorable.
True.
Aww.
That would have been great.
You know who else is adorable in this episode, too?
Fucking Gamamon.
It's Gamamon. Oh my god, I live for Gamamon and Kyoshiro's friendship.
They're so good. Kyoshiro is holding Gamamon up to a vending machine, helping him buy a drink, and Gamamon buys, like, a chocolate milk or something.
Yeah, he's like, oh, man.
He's on brand.
Even chocolate drinks. He's got to have his champion.
He's got to have his fix.
He's got to have his
This
fix.
boy's a little cocoa fiend.
He's just like me for real.
It's valid.
They hear like a commotion, don't they? Because like, Puchimon is like looking for Riku and is like, where'd he go? What is school?
Yeah, so then, you know, Hiro gets a text asking him to, like, gets a text from Kyoshiro asking him to bring, you know, Riku into this one conference room. So it's like, hey, we found this lost little child, and he keeps asking for you. Also, he's a hologram. What's up?
If there was an intercom system, he could have been like in the store, like, could the parent of Puchimon please come to aisle 4 to pick up your lost child?
Puchimon is a lost child for sure. Also, I like that he's still like, yeah, it's just a hologram that I can hug. It's normal. This is fine.
Puchimon does a little heart shape. And he says, give it back. And Riku has to make the little heart shape. And it's cute.
Yeah, he does a heart shape like the M in YMCA. Thank you, village people.
Oh god, the heart shape keeps changing. Back in my day, you made it with like your 2 hands together. And now I've seen people do it with like 4 fingers. And now Riku's telling me I need to use my arms for it. I can't keep up.
So true.
Kids these days, and their wild fucking hearts. Back in my day, you just did it with your thumb and your hands, like a normal person.
I'm doing it right now, and I don't know
I also did it because I wanted to explain to myself how it works. I don't understand how to do the new heart. I will age myself and say, you know what, I might be too old for that one.
Back in my day, we would fight the king of the chimera ants and then do the heart shape with our hands because we're so grateful for this incredible fight that we get to have before we die of old age.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a deep Netero reference from Hunter x Hunter. I hope someone appreciated it.
I gotta be honest, I'm glad I didn't finish Hunter x Hunter. I'm glad I opted out.
No, it's
Skip Chimera Ant, then just go straight to the election arc, because that's when you get to meet Killua's adorable trans sister.
yeah. I was gonna say it's a fun show. It has issues, but it's a fun show.
So is everyone in Killua's family trans, or
Yes.
I mean,
To me, yes. But canonically, not just one, I guess, technically.
yeah.
who cares about canon?
Kaluto's a little gender non-conforming over there, but Aluka is, like, canonically trans.
Nice. That is cool.
Yeah.
Just like how in Digimon Ghost Game, Kyosho is canonically trans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So true.
I think Riku goes and does his laundry.
Mhm.
But he runs into the choice that they've made here is Riku runs into this big jock-like character who has this huge ass arms. I was laughing so hard.
Just the most square-jawed little 13-year-old you've ever seen.
Yeah, I was like, is this supposed to be a teen? Like, who is this little... Who is this kid? What is going on?
How many years has he been held back? Let him graduate at this point, please. So yeah, he looks like he could snap Riku in half with just like his pink finger. It's insane. And Riku runs into him and makes him drop his freshly washed clothes.
And he steps on it.
Which of course are dirty from being on the ground for 3 fucking seconds. Please, my laundry's on the ground for days sometimes.
No, but he steps on it. That's the problem.
Yeah, Riku steps on the t-shirt, though.
Puts his dirty ass shoe on and that. Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm sure Riku's feet are disgusting.
And he's so mad about it. And then, like, Puchimon, who's, like, hanging with him, it hits this jock with Hartner Beam. And suddenly there's just, like, this weird, like, dark cloud, like, purpley cloud. And, like, Riku can't really hear him anymore. Like, he's like, are you listening to me?
He just starts dissociating and sees a vision of himself apologizing to Jock Teen and washing his shirt with his own laundry.
Yeah.
Puchimon just uses the overlay effect. He's a video editor.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And then he star wipes back to reality and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just wash your t-shirt again with my stuff." And then the jock just immediately goes from angry to smiling and says, "Oh, okay, that's fine then."
That's fine.
It's insane. And then Puchimon says what we're all used to, which is give it back. Give what back, Puchimon? How the fuck is he supposed to give that back?
Riku is like, I can't project dissociation. I can't project dream visions. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't do that, little buddy. Do you want me to, like, buy you a snack or something in return? And Puchimon is like, no, that's not giving it back. It's not what I asked for, dude.
If the goal was disassociation, I would simply let Puchimon listen to Never Believe It.
Exactly.
That's how I would give it back.
I would be like, okay, I have to give it back to you, though, and not someone else, so here you go. And then I would be like, here's Never Believe It.
Yeah, here's the episode where they're playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they've used a fucking ridiculous edit silence. They've used like a cut silences filter with the settings turned up so high, all their sentences are like fucking trimmed down by about half.
Okay,
And it's completely garbled.
I haven't. Wow. Are they still putting out new episodes?
That one was from Oturanza back in that one. Yeah,
But I still follow it. You know what? I believe in them. One day they'll do another weird thing. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she'll be like, "What's Naruto?"
If I introduce Puchimon to popular media, I think Puchimon should also give me recommendations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me recommendations. And she's like, I can't. And it's like, oh, you can't give it back to me? I guess we'll have to fucking look it up on my side. Can we just, like, cancel shit out doing this? Like...
Yeah, we really wouldn't have had an issue. We could just fucked up, because Puchimon very much says, like, oh, you can't give it back? Okay, that's fine. I'll just count it.
I'll just put it on your tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he does, like, this, like, creepy voice. Like, 1. It's like, oh, that's not ominous at all. Thank you.
No, that's normal. That's how I always count.
Puchimon really goes ominous mode, but it's very funny because clearly they're not like being mean or anything. They are just, I mean, kind of being mean, but like not in such a malicious way that the cinematography would imply.
Yeah, I was like kind of worried. I was like, what is Puchimon gonna do? And then like nothing really I mean, like, something happens, but nothing I thought was gonna be scarier than it was, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, okay.
This episode is scary to me and aromantic. But
True.
That's about it.
True. Puberty is scary, that's what's going on.
That's so true.
Puberty does something to you.
It fucks you up for sure.
She needs some time to grow into her body. It's changed, but she hasn't completely caught up yet.
Sometimes you become 7 feet tall and jacked and able to rip a car in half with your bare hands, but like your emotions haven't quite caught up to you yet.
Wow, she just like me for real. Just kidding. I would never be jacked. Is this when they go to the store?
Yeah, they're at the store. Yeah, Gamamon is buying some chocolate. Puchimon is buying some sour candies.
There's this question of whether, like, sour candies would make a hologram's face scrunch up. It's cute. But then, Puchimon, like, suddenly, like, spins around and is like, do it back to Riku. And he does, but he spins around and he bumps into another shopper. She's like, watch where you're going, you little bitch.
Yeah, this old lady gets so mad at this young teen.
At this idiot teen boy.
It's always the teens just messing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one saying kids these days. She's the one making jokes about Netero.
And Puchimon does his Hartner beam. And this one was really funny to me because Rika's like, oh yeah, if I see this, I know what to do.
It's
Riku,
just a regular ass apology.
You just had to apologize. I wouldn't have needed help with that one. I would have known to just say, oh, I'm so sorry.
I think the implication is the Hartner beam is helping, though, too. Like, I think it's the sorry on top of the Hartner beam that makes it so she's like, oh, that's fine. Because I think she would have, if he had just been like, sorry, well, she was angry. Like, I don't think it would have helped quite the same way.
Yeah. You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
It's a side effect of being me is that I look really young, and now that I've colored my hair, I look like a troubled teen. So I often get rude people in the store. That does happen. You just ignore them, Riku. You just move on with your life.
So true. Actually, I can confirm it, because when I was looking up Puchimon, it's like, its special move releases a soft light that causes a loss of fighting spirit and soothes the hearts of its enemies. Heartner Beam.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's...
Damn, lore.
Yeah. Heartner Beam makes you just take a mini nap and mellow out a little bit.
It would be funny if it was just, like, showing him, like, what to do next, which is what he thought. Like, he's, like later, because, like, Hiro can see this and is like, what the fuck is going on? And Riku's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. He's just showing me, like, how to apologize to someone. I'm kind of clumsy, so this is just helping me out. And it's like, yeah, okay. Normal.
What cool features does Gamamon have?
He does ask that. And I'm like, being cute, obviously.
Yeah. Hiro's like, well, he eats chocolate and hacks into electronics and breaks down walls, I guess. He can headbutt through a steel plate. Is that something?
He can vibe check.
Gamamon's special talent is capable of being evil.
Mm-hmm.
He's evil, but only sometimes.
His feature is that he can turn into an emo kid.
He's also my little son, and also he does vibe checks.
It's true.
He's got the range.
He does a lot, actually.
He does a lot, yeah.
At the price of all my money, because I keep having to buy chocolate for him.
The one thing Gamamon will not do is stink.
True.
But yeah, the Puchimon is like, okay, do it back. Rika's like, dude, I still can't do Heartner Beam. I'm sorry. And Hiro like hears Puchimon being like 3. It's like, oh, okay. Is that normal, Riku?
Yeah, so then Hiro meets up with like the rest of the gang, and they're talking about Puchimon, and it's like, well, it's probably fine. Like, you know, they seem like they're friends. They seem compatible. And Jellymon is like, just like me and Kyoshiro, we're so compatible. And Kyoshiro just sort of like turns his head away, and Jellymon is like, why are you looking away?
Don't look away.
We're so compatible.
Jellymon gets out a knife and says, we're compatible, right, darling? Say yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny.
Kyoshiro still doesn't know that he and Jellymon are dating. No one told him.
He's like, don't people normally do this with their Digimon? They just like go on dates and stuff. That's like normal, right? Mm-hmm. That's like not boyfriend girlfriend stuff. That's just Digimon partner stuff. And it's like, well,
at this point,
for some people,
Jellymon has chosen the wedding dress, and he's still not got on. So
yeah. Exactly.
It's fine. It's funny because it's like, oh, well, Riku's also dealing with someone with a crush on him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So we go back to Riku. He's just sitting in bed with a big pile of snacks for some reason.
It's how he's trying to give it back.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
He's trying so hard.
And Puchimon goes through puberty, and like a lot of people going through puberty, Puchimon realizes that, oh, hey, I'm trans. So she's she's Mikrakmon now.
Yeah, like Puchimon, you know, is just talking about like, wow, I love you so much, Riku. I feel like I'm going to evolve, and then she does evolve, and I I'm just fucking staring open mouthed because she evolves into May Crackmon, aka a gigantic 7-foot tall, ripped, big titty cat girl.
Like, actually,
big tits. What the fuck?
It's Mia Crackmon Vicious Mode specifically, and she's huge. She's got tits, like, sure, they're furry and you can't see the nipples, but they're definitely there. And
she's beautiful.
She towers over him and is terrified.
She towers over him so much. She's so big.
Big, large.
She still looks, her eyes and just her face in general, which is something that I found a bit weird because body, mature, furry woman, face, child. And I was a bit, this is still a teen. It still felt like a teen to me. Whereas usually when the Digimon evolve, they sort of become more adults, and May Crackmon didn't really get the personality change, which is valid because you know what? When you're trans, sometimes you feel like you need to redo your teen years for a little bit.
So true.
Sometimes you gotta push that emotional development back until your 20s, cause you're
just not ready.
You're dealing with other stuff,
Just gonna postpone my emotional development for a couple of years. Don't worry about it. I'm sure this is healthy.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just get therapy later. It's normal. Yeah, so Riku is just like, oh, what the fuck? And May Crackmon is like, wow, this is so neat. I evolved. That's cool. Here, I'm gonna make you some apple juice. Just takes a whole entire apple and crushes it in their bare hand, just like above like a cup.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go. I gave you some juice. Now give it back. And Riku is like, I can't crush an apple with my bare hand. I don't know what you want me to do.
Riku, go to the gym.
I'll go to the vending machine from earlier and buy you a juice, and May Crackmon is like, that's not giving it back. I'm still counting.
Yeah, we're at 4 now, because Riku didn't bother to go to the gym, so he could crush some apples.
He should have thought of this before he caused his Digimon girlfriend to evolve.
Yeah, and store-bought apple juice, I say, knowing full well that there's store-bought apple juice in my house. That's just not good enough.
Yeah. Store-bought apple juice is kind of shit, IMO.
Yeah,
Sometimes
No, it's not, actually. Store-bought apple juice is really good. It's really good.
It's like, why would you go for an apple juice when you could just as easily get a cider?
I would much rather have a cider, yes.
Sometimes I am not allowed to drink alcohol.
They have non-alcoholic ciders, at least here.
Yeah. Okay, is this like a US Europe thing? Because I've heard that
is cider not always?
Because for us, apple juice is like a clear, like, no chunks or pulp in it, like very clear, very light colored, and just basically a pure sugar drink.
It's piss colored.
It's
like,
piss
sorry,
colored.
I don't mean
we don't have to
be
skirt
crude, but it
around
is kind of pea colored.
Yeah, it is pea colored. Correct.
Okay, then cider is like a cloudy, like, apple juice, and it doesn't have to have alcohol in it, at least here. It's just like a cloudier, like...
I'd still call that apple juice.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah, for us, like, apple juice is the way more, like, processed and filtered stuff, whereas cider is just, like, you squish it straight out of an apple, and maybe add some spices in there.
I could also be wrong, to be honest. Like, I am not a professional when it comes to, these words definitely mean things.
Yeah, you know what? None of us are.
I would never claim to know shit about anything.
But anyway, May Crackmon does not accept the terrible vending machine apple juice. Also, like, she is calling herself May, which is like definitely a reference to May Crackmon's first appearance in Digimon Adventure Tri, where
it kind of makes sense because like Poochymon referred to themselves as like Poochie, so it also like does that. Like, I know it's a reference to the first appearance, but it's also like that's just what this particular Digimon does, is refer to themselves as a shortened version of their name.
Now they're just sort of like sleeping in the same bed, and Riku is like, wow, this hits different now that my hologram is 7 feet tall and has titties and is taking up 90% of the bed.
Just hug her.
Just hug her.
Yeah, she does like say like, well, with their eyes closed, like, pay it back, and he's like, what? Okay, I'll just turn your way and hug you, I guess. I'm so confused. As we all are.
And he's like, well, she still seems nice, even though I'm mildly terrified of her now.
Which is, you know what, that's a valid thing to say, Riku, I understand.
And then we get another interesting scene, where you know, they're at lunch and May Crackmon is just spoon feeding him his lunch, and then she's like,
and everyone's watching.
His friends
everyone
like,
in the room.
I'm gonna sit somewhere else, actually. This has gone from, oh, you've got a cute pet, to, oh, you're in a very weird relationship.
Yeah, everyone in the fucking room is just staring at them like, what the fuck is going on? And then May is...
Everyone in the lunchroom is like, you're kind of making a scene, and like, May Crackmon is like mad at some point, and then everyone like is like, let's not eat next to you right now.
Because he's super embarrassed. He's super embarrassed.
May Crackmon is like, give it back now. Now you have to spoon feed me. And he's like, this feels inappropriate. I don't...
Yeah, he's like, in public?
He's like, I cannot spoon feed a 7 feet tall cat creature.
People are gonna think that this is some kind of sex thing.
The moment you walked in with your big titty furry girlfriend, everyone thought it was a sex thing.
Yeah.
You're not telling me this. There's definitely some people in that room who are jealous of him right now.
Oh, no doubt.
And Kyoshiro says, you should stop me making a scene.
Yeah, and then May Crackmon just shuts him up with a single glance. Like, doesn't even say anything, just like fucking looks at him, and he's like, you know what, never mind.
I think this is when we get the big fight, where May is like, you won't give it back, you won't give the same exact thing back, so that means you love me less.
Yeah.
Damn.
May, please grow up a little bit. That's not how it works.
Babe.
It's not how it works.
He's human.
Sometimes you can't fully reciprocate, you know, someone else's feelings just because, like, you're repressed and you don't really have the capacity for it.
And sometimes people's love language is different.
Yeah, people have different abilities.
Yeah.
Like, even between humans.
Now, I don't know what Riku was bringing in that relationship, but I'm sure he did his best.
It's fine. He was just there being a teen boy.
Yeah, but this is when we get back to Digimon are obsessed with turning humans into Digimon.
Sure are.
But May Crackmon doesn't have any, like, funny little juice that will do it to him. She hasn't been, developing poisons for the past however long, like Ayataramon. So she's just like, okay, I'll make do with what I have. I'll just sharpen your fingers into claws and rip your ears off to make and make them pointy. And so Riku is not into this. So he starts screaming and gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he runs. A funny thing to me about, and this is like, this happens in pretty much every anime ever. When they run outside, they still take the time to swap out their shoes.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, May Crackmon chases him down the stairs and, like, fucking craters into the floor, like, when she like, jumps down and hits the next landing. And this happens, like, fucking right as, Hiro and Kiyoshiro are walking past. So it's like, okay, this is escalated.
They're like, oh, maybe they're not friends after all. Or they're fighting. I don't know. This is not a good idea. This is not good.
A beautiful scene of May Crackmon jumping down the stairs, and we get like several shots of how the others would perceive this, and it comes across as very aggressive, and she smashes through the door, just completely ruins the door frame. And Gamamon
doing some property damage over here.
Gamamon, an empath, says, "Oh, bad vibes."
Mm-hmm.
I love it when he does that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, the vibes have changed from earlier. Oh no.
Vibes have changed from questionable to bad.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They run after them all, and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna end bad for Riku." So he activates the digital world, so that Riku will no longer be in the same universe as May Crackmon.
Yeah, and like before that happens, like May Crackmon is just like fucking chasing him down the street, like. At one point, she, like, jumps, on top of a couple cars and just fucking completely crushes in the roofs.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she does damage before they go to the pseudo-digital world. Uh-oh.
So they activate the digital field and evolve into Tesla Jellymon and Wezengamamon. And since the digital field happened, Riku disappears, and May instantly gets really anxious about it. Like, oh no, where did he go? I have to find him. Like, even though she's mad, she's still, like, anxious about him disappearing.
Yeah.
She really does love him, I think. At a certain part, this is her first real crush.
Yeah, definitely loves him, is absolutely bad at knowing how to express it.
Yeah, she's not ready for a relationship yet. She needs to find herself first.
Exactly. She's still a baby. She's still got a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah, definitely.
More of this piece of art, what the fuck?
I posted something in host chat, sorry.
Oh boy. Let me take a look. Oh no!
I think Spike will appreciate this too.
Garfield is May Crackmon.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't even know what I was doing. I was just like looking at May Crackmon, and I was like, oh, here's one.
Great.
There sure is one here.
Making every orange cat into a Garfield is just the ultimate.
Speak comedy.
So back to the show. Sorry.
Where they split up to look for them.
I was surprised with Gabamon. became a chunky big boy. Because I was like, wait, he doesn't go very fast, does he?
Yeah, I was also surprised at that choice.
It is fun to see, though. It is fun to see, like,
It's
Hero riding on his back. I was just like, why is Wizengamamon the one?
We need to cover a lot of ground. Let's evolve into the form that has, like, 2 4,000-pound guns mounted on their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do get a funny Kyosho hates speed scene. I'm glad we're keeping up with that.
He's like, my anxiety.
Oh no, my anxiety. But it's fine, because May's gonna be a bigger problem, because she quickly realizes that actually it's Hiro and Kyosho's fault that she can't find Riku. They've stolen him.
Yeah, she's like, there's no one here. And then she's like, fuck, those 2 humans are the only ones here. And so she actually goes and finds them, like after the 2 were like tired from trying to look for her. And they're like, maybe we should get Rui here. She just like pops out of nowhere and she's like, You took away Riku. How dare you?
You're really good at that voice.
Yeah, she's mad.
Yeah, she's super mad. She's so mad that she becomes more people.
Yeah, she fucking just sheds a bunch of hairballs, and those hairballs turn into shadow clones?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And like, it was fun hearing. I know jutsu just means like spell or something, but I was still just like, Hiroshio jutsu. I know that one.
There's a certain point, like, so basically, Wizengamamon and Tesla Jellymon don't stand a chance. Mikrakmon is an angry teenage girl, and we all know those are an unstoppable force. But there's a certain point where Mikrakmon just grabs Tesla Jellymon, and Tesla Jellymon does a little nya sound.
Yeah. Like, Tesla Jellymon tries to, attack her with a Vor Sprite, but she just grabs Tessa, just, like, charging head first, doing, like, a cool spinny attack. Mikrakmon just grabs her head in one hand and fucking yeets her across the room.
It was a very funny fight.
Yeah, and, like, so the two, like, adult level Digimon are kind of, like, busted on the ground, and so someone, like, she's about to like attack them while they're down, but then like something gets chucked at May's head, like I don't know, Hiro chucks like a metal thing at her head or something, and she's like, oh, you're protecting them after they protected you? You're reciprocating?
You're doing givebacks? What the fuck? Why wouldn't Riku?
Why wouldn't Riku do that? What the fuck? And then she like goes to try to attack the 2 humans, and then the 2 Digimon go ultimate mode. They go big mode.
We get Kenovismon and Thetismon, and then the fight keeps happening.
I love seeing Thetismon fight, because her special moves are things like teleport and heal poison. So everything else is really just kicking. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, her moves are teleportation, healing magic, and just beating the shit out of you.
And like, yeah, like modifications of like her previous electric kicks and stuff.
Yeah, but she very much needs to punch someone in order to do damage. I love her so much, because she looks so distinguished. She looks so gentle, and then she just drop kicks someone.
It's good.
It's really good.
It's good. So, eventually, like, they wrestle Mei into submission, and Tiro is like, okay, what's going on? Why did you get so mad at Riku? And Mei is like, well, he wouldn't give back to me. It happened like 5 times. And Tiro is like, wait, you're you're keeping count of all the times that Riku didn't like reciprocate your actions. That's kind of not how relationships work, buddy. That's kind of not how you're supposed to do it, especially when one of you is a Digimon and one of you is a human, and you can't exactly copy their precise actions. And, Thetismon is like, yeah, sometimes humans and Digimon are different, and you can still be friends anyway, even if your abilities don't exactly match one another.
For this scene is just, when Thetismon says this, it's Thetismon and Kyosho standing next to each other. Mm-hmm. That is not the show ships it. There's no other explanation for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also important to note that for this conversation, Canon Wiseman very much is sitting on top of May to keep her there.
Yeah.
Keep her from going, wild.
Oh, we can't keep her under control. Oh, I know, just put a big dragon on top of her.
Yeah, it's like when you gotta hold on to your cat to clip their nails.
Oh, God.
It's the same thing.
I've never had to do that. Bob is very good at losing them himself. Thankfully.
So Hiro is like, okay, well, now that you realize this, let's think of a way that you can, apologize to Riku and make it up to him, because you're kind of wrong here, and May realizes that. So he's like, okay, let's wrap this episode up. Let's head towards a positive resolution that'll be good for everyone. And then he deactivates the digital field, and May Crack One is just fucking gone. Uh-oh.
She's gone.
Yeah, she just books it. The ending was really sad too.
Yeah, they realize where she ends up going. She does find Riku, but not to do anything to him.
Yeah, because Riku sees her and flinches back, and May sees how scared he got of her, and is really sad about it. So then she's like, hey, guess what, idiot? We can't be friends. Humans and Digimon are too different. I hate you now. I'm not crying.
Yo, he's so upset. I did have to laugh a little bit, because she's like, you should make human friends. And he was like, I tried, I can't. I'm so sorry.
He's like,
poor
I try.
Boy. People keep telling him you should just make friends. Simply make friends, Riku. And he can't. He's too awkward. Oh, poor boy.
Yeah, make friends. It's not hard or anything, they say, having had intense social anxiety for most of their life.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I definitely made friends in my teenage years. I definitely still talk to people from high school.
I was just talking about this with my sister, actually. So I went to high school, but I went to a different one than I was expecting to go to, because my sister got put into a different school, so I followed. It was a whole thing. It's a whole weird system, but the school is a smaller school with a lot more it's known more for kind of having the weird kids and stuff. So I had friends there, and my sister was looking back, I don't know, it would have been harder for me to make friends at the other school, just because it was bigger, so it was harder to not feel you're slipping through the cracks as much, and it was just less known for it didn't really even have it didn't have an established GSA or anything, and that was before I came out, but I was still queer coded before I came out,
Mm-hmm.
So whereas it was more established at the one I ended up going to, and I was damn. it's like I would have found people, but it would have been like a lot harder. And it's like sad because like I didn't stay in touch with as many high school friends, but there were like people I still like talk to and people I became more friends with actually after school who I ended up going to school with. But yeah, it's just funny that I was like talking about that recently.
Yeah, I was definitely like not as good. I was definitely like not good at making friends in high school. Like I had a friend group just because like
I didn't.
You know, I just sort of like a few people just like made friends with me. I did not have like that skill set myself.
Same,
I was very very much like not an outgoing person.
Yeah.
I had severe anger problems as a teen, so I don't really blame anyone for not wanting to be friends with me back then.
Rip.
Oh.
I just waited until Saturday every week, because then it was Scouts, and I liked at least 3 people in the Scouts, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, even now it's, like, hard to make friends, but at least I can have the excuse that it's just, like, hard making friends as an adult, and I can make friends online, and that's a lot easier, but, like, I just mean, like, I have a hard time making, like, in-person friends now, just due to life.
I find it easier to make friends now, because I'm more aware of what I want out of a friendship, and what I'm put into a friendship.
Definitely.
But yeah, online stays easier.
I guess it's also like compared to college where like I had a much easier time. It was like I had a hard time in high school, I had an easier time in college, and I'm having like an okay time now. It's like kind of like I make friends online kind of thing more so.
The problem as an adult is more like where do you run into new people?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I still have no idea how to make friends in person, because it's like, where do you find people?
I mean, I once made a friend at a convention because we walked past each other and we turned around and we were like, oh, Taco from TV, because we were cosplaying the same thing. And then we ran into each other again because we were both waiting for the same panel to start. And every time there's a convention, I meet up. That's just a thing that happens, and that's how I made this friend.
Hell yeah!
But it's
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna become friends with the person who's standing behind me in line at like the market or anything.
Right, and like even my coworkers, like I'm not that close to. Like they're fine. But...
Yeah, I always think it's a little sketchy to like become really close friends with coworkers, because like. You still gotta see them in a professional environment, and I am a very special brand of weird.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know I talked to one of my bosses about Yu-Gi-Oh! And she was very much not interested in that, but she doesn't need to know how far I could go.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like I'm too much of a weirdo to have work friends.
Yeah, that's where I am at.
I am already like worried about like my. I'm worried about like people just stumbling across my podcast, and they're like not that weird, but they're all like weird enough.
I mean, we did talk about 7-foot-tall furry girlfriends in this one.
The shit I've said in this podcast.
Right, they're weird enough. That's what I'm saying. Like it's they're weird, but they're like fine. But they're like I'm not talking about like.
Like, I am friends with one of my coworkers, but we were friends before I started working there, and I'm friends with one of my old colleagues, but we actually became closer friends after I stopped working there. But I just, you know what, my friend that I have gets to know that I bought a maid outfit, and I'm super excited that that's gonna arrive. I don't need everyone at my job to know about that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd react to it as positively. So yeah, I'm like, I think it's not, the difficulty as an adult is not making friends, but finding them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I am definitely not going to enough events where I could run into like-minded people, because I'm like, oh yeah, I am an extrovert actually for a lot of things. But also I'm often at my limit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know what would be fun? If Riku became Hiro's friend, and then we could boot Nomura.
Please.
Yes, please, get Nomura out of here.
I definitely, like, we haven't seen a ton of Riku, so, like, maybe, I don't know for sure yet, but at the moment, he is higher on my list than Nomura. But I think most people are higher on my list than Nomura, except maybe, like, Hiro's dad, you know?
I'm gonna make this list based on how respectful people would be if their cute little friend turned into a 7-foot-tall, big-titty furry girlfriend. And I think Nomura and Hokuto wouldn't be respectful about that.
No, definitely not. You know, if you see them in the lunchroom with their gigantic furry girlfriend, they're like, it's like, no, you have to go to jail immediately. Yeah. Something about this is weird.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah, I was like, Nomura would be a creep about it. That would suck.
Oh, for sure.
He would.
I'm like, he already had his weird situation with the plant lady anyway. That wasn't on him for once, but still.
And did he learn his lesson? Probably not.
No, because he was like
Almost
hypnotized.
Definitely not.
It probably just awakened something in him.
Oh no.
Oh no. Probably, yeah, but oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we all feel for Riku and Bei and their struggle to find friends.
Nomura's favorite movie is Little Shop of Horrors now, and he's just like, I don't know, I just like it.
Riku should get a Discord. Riku should go on Discord channels and then make friends. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Listen to a podcast, join a Discord channel, say, oh wow, we all have the same interest. This is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's all make a podcast together.
Listen, go to Digimon Ghost Gaze Discord and start a new podcast with someone on there.
Yeah. Like, do the time-honored tradition of starting another podcast on someone's Discord, like we have all done.
like we have all done.
Well, some of us multiple times. I think that's kind of the end of the episode.
Yeah, this is where Kyosho says it's actually past curfew, and you didn't ask for a permission slip, so you need to go back home. So we should start wrapping this up, because it's also past my curfew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riku does seem sad, though. Like, that, like, he is sad that Crackmon, like, left. He's not...
Yeah,
I think
they were friends.
I think he genuinely misses the friendship.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think, like, yeah, he was worried about, like, being attacked by this big, strong cat lady. But, like, he still misses her, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rip.
Poor thing.
Rip. Who's gonna teach him about basic, who's gonna teach him about, like, basic social niceties now? Who's gonna tell him how to apologize in the most basic way?
Who's gonna help him when he makes mistakes?
He was gonna teach him how to apologize, because that's what Hero's best at.
Mm-hmm. True.
Alright, what are our fucking plugs? We've been going on way too long.
My plugs are that I am still on the sinking ship that is Twitter, at Eruviru.
You can find me for now at Twitter at Haunting the Morgue. You can also find me on Tumblr at Haunting the Morgue, or hauntingthemorgue.tumblr.com. You can also find me on co-host at Gengar, as in the Pokemon Gengar.
Oh, and you gotta. That is a cool one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But if you ever get lost, pretty much just look for Haunting the Morgue, because I do have that one as like a side thing anyway. But And then for my other podcasts, I have Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast, and Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. We just recorded episode 100 a couple days ago, so it'll be out, in a bit. And it's a good one, because we talk about Devin's favorite boy, Starline.
Hell yeah, I'm so excited to hear that one.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. I do have one more Tumblr thing to plug, but that'll be for this podcast stuff, I think. So, Emery.
All right, I'm on a podcast called Going Well Hunting, where we started releasing episodes again. There should be new ones fairly shortly. That's about Hunter x Hunter. We're in the middle of the Chimera Ant arc where we're really going off. Eventually you'll get to hear about funny Netero and how he makes a heart with his hands when he's fighting the Chimera Ant King, and he's very normal about it. I'm also on a podcast called We Rate Queerbait. We just released our episode on Ocean's 8, a movie about girl bosses winning.
Oh yeah.
And soon we're going to be recording our episode of Death Note, so you can expect to see that in a couple months. That's going to be a very silly time. I've been watching Death Note, and I've come to the realization that Death Note is Big Bang Theory, but for goth weeaboos. No, I will not elaborate.
Oh, no. That makes me so sad. That makes me feel like a bad person, because I like watching it as in, you know how sometimes you want shows that, are just kind of on in the background, as good,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've done a lot of dishes while watching Death Note.
Yeah.
Death Note is how did I pronounce that one? Death Note is the first manga I ever bought.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it's good, but it is very easy to watch.
The manga is really fun. It's
fun, yes.
It's drawn so well. I love the art style so much.
Yeah, and I am also on an upcoming, as of yet unannounced audio drama project. We can start talking about that in vague terms now, so you might also hear some people in adjacent podcasting circles talking about unannounced audio drama project. So yeah, just look out. Just look out for that in the coming months. I think it's going to be real sick.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for me. This show has a Twitter on the sinking site of twitter.com. That's at DigiGhostGaze. We also have a new Tumblr that Morg just made. What's the address for that one?
It's just at DigimonGhostGaze.tumblr.com is.
Hell yeah. So we also got a Discord server, aforementioned. We're doing Aptly Mondays, where we're watching 3 episodes of Appmon every week. That's a very fun time, because Appmon is a good-ass show. And we're finally into the second half, where we get more Eugene content, and Offmon has finally showed up, and they're just the best. It's Haru's boyfriend and his little baby son child. And also I do art streams on Friday. Last time I drew my persona in a cute maid dress for Frilly Fuck Friday.
She's beautiful.
I think they came out very nice.
It's so cute. I love looking at it.
Thank you. Alright, so I think that about does it for us. So this podcast is part of the Noisespace.xyz network. You can go to Noisespace.xyz and find all sorts of neat crap. And by crap, I mean very good podcasts about a wide variety of topics. We got new shows on the network. We got, continuing shows. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. It's all good.
Peak content.
So I think that about does it for us. So until next time, all you poltergeists, ghouls, and non-boonaries.
Digimon is for the gays.
For the gays.
Goodbye, darlings.
Goodbye.